Oh, yes, indeed. It is August, Harry. And you know what we don't normally see in August?
Hockey.
Hockey or basketball. I mean, it's usually baseball. These are usually the dog days of summer, right?
Right.
This is when we start complaining about baseball teams in the real world, in the normal times. You know, hey, it's August. Some teams are starting to look like they're not going to make anything.
Right.
They're just going to play out the season. Some teams are buyers and sellers. The All-Star games would have been happening by now. But we've got hockey. We've got basketball. We've got baseball. We've had golf for a long time. Auto racing. Everything, Harry. And hockey action. And we go out to a man who got out of Arizona because it's too damn hot. He said, I need an ocean breeze. I need a sea breeze. I need a bay breeze. I need anything with ice in it and maybe an umbrella. Although he's not an umbrella in your drink kind of guy.
I don't think so.
He is the great Jeremy Roenick, JR out there in California, in Del Mar. And Harry wants to know, what track can you get him on? Because that is his first and only assignment here on this show.
Hey, listen, I'm literally a quarter of a mile from Torrey Pines. You get your ass out here, we'll go right up to Torrey Pines, and we'll throw that white ball around as much as you want. You're always welcome. Totally
Awesome.
Good to see you, buddy.
You too, man. Now, Harry only uses those chrome balls now, the chrome ones. What are those called?
I use the TaylorMade ball now.
Oh, he got away from the Pro V. He got outbid.
Harry, you gotta buy my ball that I'm associated with.
What's that?
Clear. It's a clear ball. It's the one that Charles Schwartzel's using right now.
Oh, really?
And he's ever since he started using the ball, he went from like 165 in the world to top 50. So
wow,
it's the best ball.
The clear, not the cream, not to be completely confused with the cream.
No.
Back when the clear and the cream days at Balco, yes.
Nope, clear.
Oh, Harry's totally writing it down right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm writing this down.
Listen, Harry, it was rated the best golf ball ever tested by Golf Lab, ever.
Wow.
So I guarantee you'll love it.
Wow, how about this?
This is
inside
good.
golf
This is good
knowledge here,
info,
Harry.
Yeah.
Because Harry does a golf podcast, but I thought Titleist were better than TaylorMade's, and now I'm not the Chrome Soft, Harry.
No.
Now, who makes his Clear? Is that the name of the company, Clear?
That's the name of the company, Clear Sports. Yep. So you can go to clearsports.com and you'll see the balls right there. They are we have balls that are like considered Titleist X's and then Titleist Pro V's. So there's a bunch that you can choose from, and they blow Titleist away and they blow TaylorMade away.
Wow.
And Chrome isn't even in the same atmosphere as Clear. So then again, I'm a little biased, but it's still true.
Can you send me a gross? I don't want just a box.
Yeah, cleargolf.com. Right here it is.
Clear Golf or Clear Sports.
Yeah,
exactly.
Clear Golf.
So
Enjoy.
Beautiful, man. Now, we know hockey players are good golfers, most of them.
Pretty much.
And obviously we have hockey. So while you're out there in Del Mar enjoying the beautiful weather, what about hockey? Have you been absorbed? Because I know you got a podcast. Is it started yet? Because that was a big story I saw last week that you're going to have your own podcast now. But who doesn't have their own podcast? JR, come on, man.
Well, it's not really a podcast. So podcasts are old school. Those are ancient. Mm-hmm. So what I'm starting with a couple friends of mine, Eric Burns from Major League Baseball,
I love it.
and a couple Silicon Valley guys. We're starting a streaming network called No Filter Broadcast. So it's actually it's kind of Twitch, podcast, Twitter, Instagram, all matched into one, right? And we're gonna have the ability for fans to watch, to text comments, questions, but also there is going to be on their screen a knock button. So if a person wants to join my show and ask me a question or have a debate or have an argument or just have a conversation, he or she can press the button and I can accept them onto the show, and it's going to be very, very fan engaged. So that person will jump onto my show in front of thousands of people and see what kind of game he or she has. And it's going to be
I've never heard of that. I mean, I know John Gruden was trying it when he was with the Raiders last year at training camp. Remember when he said, knock on wood if you're with me. Knock on wood if you're with me. So it'd be like a knock on a door, and then somebody knocks on the door and you let them in?
Correct. It'll pop up on my screen, and if I decide I want to let him in, I can accept him, and he'll pop right onto the screen with me, and he'll become part of the show. And you know just as well as I do, people want to be heard. They want their opinion out there. They want to be engaged. They want to be relevant. They have their opinions too. And they have a lot of questions. So if I can bring that fan onto my show and we can have that engagement, and I don't care if they come on, they swear at me and they tell me I'm terrible, they tell me this or that. They can do whatever they want because it's not FCC regulated. We can say whatever we want. It's called no filter broadcast. Swearing and everything that you want to do is totally on the up and up. And I'm sure it's going to be very engaging. And for me to be able to, give out my personal feelings and my real feelings and not have to be muzzled all the time and worry about who I'm working for. I'm working for myself and it's my opinions. And I want people to come on and tell me their opinions, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. But it's the fan engagement, I think, that's going to make this platform, No Filter Broadcast, different from any other podcast, streaming show or opinionated show that's going to be out there.
That's great because I can't curse anymore, and that was one of my go-to things. Except when we do our post-game show, we do like a blue post-game show on Friday afternoons after we have a couple of vodka crayons. But that's good.
Tony,
people want that.
Come on my show, and I'll let you. Every other word could be a swear if you want. I don't care.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss that part of the industry where I've been radio where you're not allowed to do anything. Before we went on to Sirius XM, and we could probably swear if we wanted to, and we don't. I mean, if somebody accidentally has a bad word, then Joe C., the man at the wheels of steel, he'll write it down. Oh, Tony said the S word. And then I get mad at him, and I have to break stick. I have to bust the studio up, and it's an outrage, is what it is.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you're watching a sporting event, a football game, basketball game, and you get pissed off at the television, are you saying, "Gosh darn"?
No.
Shoot. You're swearing at the television.
You're damn right. You're goddamn right I am, man.
And this is going to be real life. This is going to be like right in time, real life, and real honest. Because that's what people want. They want real honesty. They don't want any of this sugar-coated crap.
Jeremy Roenick, no sugar-coating crap on this show, Harry.
No. And I'd love to get your thoughts on the first couple of days of the hockey reboot here in Edmonton and Toronto. I've been thinking the action has been great.
It's been amazing. I think the hockey has been at a very high level, with the exception of a few teams who've looked absolutely terrible. New York Rangers being probably the worst team in all the playoffs right now. They are absolutely atrocious. You can have a Bantam team, a high school team can beat them right now. But I really think the National Hockey League has done the best job of all of sports in making sure that the players are safe, the quality of play is at a certain level, the quality of safety is at a certain level. Not one player is tested positive for COVID. The players are being responsible and being respectful to all aspects of the things that are around them, whether it's the national anthem, whether it's respect to Black Lives Matter, respect to the bubble and staying safe and all the COVID restrictions. So, my hat's off to the National Hockey League and the hockey, the way that it's been played. There's a hockey game all day, every day. I've been watching hockey for almost 24 hours to seem straight now, and I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, I mentioned that to Harry. Noon to midnight. We got games every single day. It's like the Thursday of the NCAA tournament where, they start playing at noon. Except, a lot of those games in the NCAA tournament, the ones against the 16s, most of those aren't entertaining. They're like 40-point blowouts. We've had some great games. And you mentioned the Rangers look like they're completely lost. And Harry and I were talking earlier about how the Rangers down 2-0. They can't go back to Madison Square Garden and look for life. It looks like they're going to have to make a goalie switch. And it looks like this team, I mentioned the great Heinrich, the great King Henry, or King Heinrich, whatever the hell they call him in New York. It looks like, obviously the guy's had an unbelievable Hall of Fame career, but it may be near the end of the road for him, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it is. This is his last opportunity. There's no question about it. And you know what? It's not his fault. And I feel bad for Henrik. I thought it was a great play for the coach to put him in and give him the chance to play his way into the playoffs and maybe have a chance to win a Stanley Cup. I mean, is that team a Stanley Cup contender? No. But I think you give Henrik, with his career, he's one of the best goaltenders to never win a Stanley Cup. Give him that opportunity to lose it or win it. And by the way, it was going to be a short leash. If he didn't play well, it would have been Georgiev in there in the first 10 minutes. But Henrik actually played well. It was this team in front of him that absolutely sucked big time, and they let him down. They threw up pizza after pizza into the slot. It was quality chance after quality chance. It was bad pass after bad pass. it was awful hockey, and they hung Henrik Lundqvist out to dry, and he didn't deserve that.
There should turn the entire Ranger team now will be deemed unfit to participate. No more lower body and upper body.
Yeah.
It's unfit to participate. I think that will be the new slogan for the New York Rangers.
I think they have COVID of the brain.
Hey, don't say that. Dr. Fauci's going to come out and say we're going to need some metal hats over our head.
Dr. Fauci's an idiot.
Wow. I didn't
idiot.
think you would go there, but I took my goggles off because I saw the numbers went down for the first time, and now I went out and bought my Dr. Fauci authorized glasses, goggles.
But it's easy to be Dr. Fauci. He's like being a weather person in Arizona. It's going to be sunny. He's talked out of both sides of his mouth. He has said everything that you can possibly say about, oh, the masks are good. No, the masks are bad. Oh, the masks don't help. Oh, the masks help. Now let's wear goggles. Oh, you don't need goggles.
I just bought goggles. I wore them Friday on the show. I listened to every word he says. Well, the guy's got me confused. I didn't buy his baseball card, at least, though, JR.
Wow.
I didn't go that far.
But he'll make recommendations for people not to work. He'll make recommendations for people not to go to church. He'll make recommendations for people not to go back to school. But he won't make recommendations that we should limit the protesting. This guy is a joke.
There you have it. Your Dr. Fauci. No, I just made an obtuse comment about the great Dr. Anthony Fauci. I am the great Anthony Grouchy. That's who I call myself on the show. Jeremy Roenick joining us. So is the podcast up yet, or when does it start, or has it started? What's going on?
So we've already started doing demo shows, and I think it'll probably be ready for full access in early September. But we built a whole platform and a new app that you'll be able to have on your phone also. So it's pretty extensive, and we're right in the final stages of getting all the bugs out and be ready to go.
I love beta testing. Robin loves beta testing. I'm more of an alpha testing guy myself. I don't do the beta stuff very well. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy Roenick. Now, JR, the Flyers. Another team that you're familiar with. By the way, the Blackhawks. Yep. Before we get to what the hell was that? How about that game?
I thought the Blackhawks impressed me more than any team in the first set of games. They were so on point. They moved the puck so well. Granted, Edmonton looked terrible, but still, I think it was more how great the Blackhawks played that made Edmonton look so bad. I was really impressed. And that Kubalik, 5 points. Taves came out hot. We'll see if they can keep it up, because Edmonton is definitely not going to play as bad as they did in Game 1.
Yeah, that was the shot. That was the first shocker, because no one expected that, obviously. But then you got the Flyers with their young goalie.
And the great defense.
And the great defense. And there's a lot of guys that a lot of people don't know, and certainly we know the star players. Mm-hmm. But that team didn't look like they missed a beat from being shut down for 4 months and going back out there. And I got to tell you, the coach has got to get major props. He has this team ready, even through the extended no playing, not even skating, and then they finally skated a couple of weeks in Jersey, and then they went up to Canada, and they were ready to go from Jump Street, man.
Yeah, Alain Vigneault is an amazing coach, and I think he's put a good crew around him. Yo's been great. Michel Therrien's been great. You have 3 head coaches that are now running the ship, and they're doing such a good job of motivating these players and making sure that they put in the system that works for their roster on their lineup. Having a goaltender that's playing the way that he is, I love this kid. It sends such a different mentality through the lineup. You see this team playing with so much more confidence because you can depend on the goaltender to make a big save for you. I've been so impressed. And you know what? They need to play well in this. I think in this round robin, they need to get the best seed possible. The Boston Bruins didn't look very interested yesterday. They're a team that are the second best team in the National Hockey League. They know they can win whatever position they're in. I think for the Flyers, that confidence, having a good seed going into the round of 16 is going to do world for their confidence. And heck, they were one of the hottest teams in the National Hockey League going out of into the break. And I think they're playing just as well coming out of the break. So I like what I see from them.
And the Boston Bruins apologists are all hitting me up on my phone. Oh, because Rask's not there. If Rask's there, it's a different game. Listen, obviously Tuukka Rask is a great world-class goaltender. Was that the reason why the Flyers were able to dominate the Boston Bruins?
No, I think the Flyers have something to prove to themselves, and I think they're more motivated than the Boston Bruins. Granted, the Boston Bruins did not play a very good game. Marchand was pretty much invisible. Bergeron was pretty much invisible. Pastrnak had one goal. I mean, he looked okay, or no, he didn't have a goal, but he looked okay. I just think this the Bruins they played like they didn't want to get anybody hurt. They know that this is a round robin, the 16 start in two more games. They weren't as interested as the Flyers are. But listen, I like the Flyers are playing playoff hockey right from the start, and that's how I think you have to approach it. So, kudos for the coach to making sure that this team is ready. Alain Vigneault has been so impressive to me.
Looking at the that Calgary-Winnipeg series, what do you think of the Tkachuk hit on Scheifele?
It was an unfortunate accident. I mean, Scheifele went to the boards. He made a quick turn. When you make a quick turn like that, as a player chasing them, you try to make an adjustment, and it was just unfortunate that Matthew Tkachuk's skate caught the back of Scheifele. He didn't try to do that. There's no way, and I've been in that situation, there's no way you can put in your brain that I am going to lift up my skate and put my skate on this guy's Achilles and hurt him and knock him out of a game. That just doesn't happen. It was an unfortunate situation. And, when you get an Achilles cut like that, which is what I think happened to Scheifele, it's all accidental.
I'll tell you what, the one young guy that to me looks like one of the best, and he really is one of the best players in the league, is that Andrei Svechnikov for your Carolina Hurricanes. Man, that kid is incredible.
3 goals today.
First hat trick in that franchise's history, I believe, in the playoffs.
Well, this kid, I mean, you see that he scores those lacrosse goals from behind the net. I mean, he's done it twice last year. This kid is something special.
20 years old, JR. He's 20 years old.
Big, strong. Yep. This kid's got everything, the world ahead of him right now, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. And that Carolina team is a tough team to play against because they all play the same way, and they have talent. They have the goaltending's playing well. Good defense. Rod Brindamore will have that team, poised and ready. They're a dangerous team.
How important is the seating in this, given the fact that they're playing in front of, in empty buildings?
I think it's very important. Matchups are very important. I think, especially. I mean, you don't want to play the Washington Capitals first round. You don't want to play the Tampa Bay Lightning the first round. Your seedings become very, very important. For some of these teams, the Colorado Avalanche, you don't want to be in a position to have to play Colorado in the first round because you're probably going to go out. So seedings are very important. So that's why you see these guys are playing at such a high level right off the bat.
Great, JR. We're talking hockey, man.
There's a lot of physicality in these games.
Yeah, I mean, there's, as I joked earlier, I was saying, there's no social distancing out there, man.
No. Hey, listen, I am actually pretty shocked that it's been as physical, and we've had a few fights, and how you can tell these guys are on edge after not playing for the last 3 months. There's a lot of pent-up energy in these guys.
Jim, of course, JR. Now, who's cutting down the nets, even though they don't cut down the nets in hockey? They just cut Achilles accidentally every once in a while. Who's going to win? I mean, obviously, Tampa looks great. They're a great team.
They play Washington today.
Yeah, they're playing Washington. Obviously, I don't know about Pittsburgh anymore, though. I mean, they look like you can never count them out, and I'm not counting them out. But is the Pittsburgh Penguin franchise the same franchise? I mean, they're good, but are they a Stanley Cup contender anymore?
No, they're not a Stanley Cup contender. I think I don't know how healthy Crosby is right now. Obviously, he missed a little bit of time during training camp. He left the game early during practice early a few times during training camp, and when you get older, you're not the same player. I still think Sidney Crosby is one of the best players in the world. Malkin is slowing down. But he's still great. But when you show up against the Montreal Canadiens, you put forth an effort like the Pittsburgh Penguins did in Game 1 and drop that game. I still think Pittsburgh will win, but they're going to make it that much harder against a team who has nothing to lose in Montreal. But it's definitely not the same Pittsburgh team to me.
JR. talking golf balls. See, Harry, you learned something about golf today, man.
I love that.
Harry's a golf expert, but he did not know about the clear. He knew about the cream because he uses it in his hair, but he didn't know about the clear. Not the clear that you can go through the airport security system. You know that clear, right, where you get the badge and you don't have to stand in line?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you get the fast pass.
I got that too, Tony.
That clear, too?
I got that too, Tony.
I don't fly anymore, so I don't need anything. I'm not even clear for takeoff. You know what I'm saying? There was a throwdown on a Delta flight. Did you see that? They had to throw a couple of people off for not wearing a mask on a Delta flight. It's an outrage out there, man.
Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask.
I always wear my mask.
Wear it.
No, I wear it. I'm not wearing it on the show. You're not wearing it in the house, are you?
No.
Do you wear it on the golf course? Do you wear it on the golf course? Do you wear it when you go up?
Nope.
To the great tracks out there.
I do not wear it.
My favorite is when you see people driving with their windows down and they have
alone in the car
with a mask on.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I look at them.
Robin, they have the windows up and they have it on.
I know.
Alone.
Yes, I mean up. That's what I meant. I mean, it's just crazy. Even if with another person in the car, I look at them and go, wow, okay, well, this is where we are.
It's such a donkey rule. A donkey rule.
I know what you want to say. See, he's warming up. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Getting ready for
the good thing about JR. He's been around. He's been around long enough, JR.
You know what's crazy though? Is the kids. Disney World is open. So if you're a kid, you can go to Disney World and ride all those dirty rides and run around with Mickey and Minnie and all those kids running around with hundreds of people, thousands of people in Disney World, but you can't go to school and learn in the classroom?
It's
what
insane.
A joke.
You know what it is?
It's an outrage.
It is an outrage. By the way, I can see you're getting ready. You know where the line is right now, but you know that the line can move up a couple of RCHs when the new show starts.
No filter broadcast.
No filter broadcast. It's like the cigarettes.
I think I'm doing a really good job. I think I'm doing a really good job of keeping out the expletives.
You really are, because I see Joe C. would already have a little notepad. Or JR, when he was on, he cursed. He said the S word. He said the F word.
3:36.
3:36 p.m. Eastern Time. Yep. He used a bad word. Now, are you going to you're not just going to curse for cursing's sake, right? Because that's one thing about me. I never use profanities when they're not necessary.
No.
You're not a gratuitous
it just exposes the actual energy that I have within me. I'm not going to use it for, just for sound. I'm going to use it when I need to.
Exactly.
Not all the time.
There's a lot of people, like comedians. A lot of comedians they just curse for the sake of cursing.
It's like a period. It's just.
I curse a lot. Don't get me wrong. I use a lot of bad words, but they're not gratuitous. They're organic. You know what I mean?
By the way, I have.
Listen, instead of putting the explanation point, I'm just going to throw a swear in there. That's
perfect.
Not very often.
Speaking of perfect, AJ Marcus on the Twitch stream has the perfect analogy of being in the car with a mask on. He says it's like laying in bed naked by yourself with a condom on. That is awesome.
That's pretty good.
That is the best description I have ever seen. That's a great analogy.
Before we go, I got breaking news. Breaking news. Dr. Fauci has been monitoring this show today, and he just said, Fauci says to JR, do not curse with a mask on. That will spread the virus inside your mask, and then it may leak outside your mask, and you may infect the entire Southern California region, and then Governor Newsom will have to raid your place.
Ask him. I'm sorry, but I might get in trouble for this. But ask him if I put a foot up his ass, if that'll spread the COVID.
That's a good question. He'll have to have you have those footballers, those things that they wear in the hospital. You know, the things you put over your shoes when you walk
booties?
in. The little booties. Or the ones when you go into one of those sterile environments and they make you put them on when you put the full suit on. That's what's next, man.
Boots.
Well, listen, I just hope everybody is being safe out there, taking care of themselves, playing by the rules, and hopefully this all ends sooner than later, and we can get back to a little bit of normalcy, a little bit of common sense, and enjoy our lives again. Because what's happening right now is crazy. Let's enjoy some hockey. Let's enjoy some sports, golf, some baseball. I won't watch basketball, but anything else is fun.
The great Jeremy Roenick, everybody. He puts one in the back of the net as we continue JR, always good to catch up, man. Thanks for coming on today, brother.
You guys are great. Thanks, guys. See you, Harry. Tony.
See
Bye,
you
brother.
later.
There he is, Jeremy Roenick.
That sounds like a good broadcasting